Someone told me earlier this week that it takes 1 day for each hour of time difference to get adjusted to the jet lag. That's what people say, right? So I was in Poland last week. I actually left Poland very, very early on Friday to arrive on time for Shabbat. And I think I was fully adjusted last evening as we were celebrating Yom HaAtzmaut. And I know I've shared this with you in many occasions, but it doesn't cease to amaze me, the rhythm of the Jewish calendar and how it mirrors in this time of the year, the recent history of our people. Because it's not only that I was 7 days ago in Auschwitz, and exactly a week later I was sitting there as we witnessed this amazing celebration of Israel's Independence Day that we held here last night at ATJC. And that week that separates my being in Auschwitz to my being here as a free Jew in America, celebrating unapologetically my love and my pride for the state of Israel, that week mirrors those 3 years that separated the malnourished people who were lucky enough to survive the horror from the soldiers that established an independent state in our homeland. And for me, that's amazing because that is perhaps the only source of hope that as a Jew and as a Zionist I can find in these tragic days for our people and for all those who love the state of Israel. Last night was a reminder of the short but also very rich history of the state of Israel. We started crying next to the ashes of the Holocaust, singing Nigunim in Yiddish and remembering those who perished. And then we honored the soldiers, and we had a moment in which, like in Israel they do on Yom HaZikaron, we pay tribute to those who defended and established the state of Israel with their blood, with their lives. And then we journeyed through the history of that amazing country in days in which there was glory and pride and we thought that we were invincible, and in days in which we thought we were very close to the end. And I'm not talking 2 years ago, I'm talking 40, 50 years ago. But the story repeats itself. Without being identical, there are moments in which we believe that we are this close to redemption, and then we believe we are back to square zero. Rabbi Berkman and myself participated in a conference of Zionist rabbis not long ago, and one of the most beautiful teachings that we heard there was Rabbi Schachter when he told the history of the prayer for the state of Israel. And there he shared a letter from Chief Rabbi Herzog, an ancestor of the current Israeli president, in which he kind of minced the term Reshit Smichat Geulateinu, the state of Israel that marks the beginnings of our redemption. Reshit Smichat Geulateinu actually means the beginnings of the flourishing of our redemption, or of the blossoming of our redemption. And there the rabbi says, well, this is not redemption. It may be the beginning of redemption, or maybe even better, and he quotes the Talmud, he says, maybe this is Atchalta de Atchalta. It's not the beginning, it's not redemption, it's not the beginning, it's the beginning of the beginning, which means we still have to wait a lot of time, and there's still a lot of work to be done. We are very, very far from redemption. But when we zoom out and we put it in perspective, even in the difficult times that we are living through, there's a lot for which we can rejoice and celebrate and feel pride and feel that we belong to the most amazing people on earth, and that we get to say with a lot of pride and with a lot of satisfaction, Am Yisrael Chai. I don't know how many of you were here last night. I tried to tell you that you shouldn't miss it, and there were a few that heard us and that came, and the ones who missed it, we may do it again, but believe me, it's been a while since I see such an amount of Yiddishkeit, of pride, of love for the state of Israel, for the land of Israel, for the people of Israel. We were so happy to belong to these people, so happy to love the state of Israel, so happy to wave our blue and white flags, as in the days in which there was no war, there were no hostages. Did we forget? No, we did not forget. We honored them, and we demanded that they return home now, today. Not tomorrow, not the day after tomorrow, now and today. And yet, we found a small window through which we could see light. For me, it was very powerful because this journey through the music of the state of Israel reminded me that when I was the age of my children, I was not singing Am Yisrael Chai. I was singing Shir LaShalom. When I was 15, 16, 17 years old, the dream of building peace with our neighbors was this close. I remember the day in which I was a younger kid in elementary school, and all of our teachers took us to the auditorium of the school and sat us in front of a small TV, maybe 20 inches TV, to see how Israel signed peace with Jordan. I remember traveling to Israel as a teenager and buying the CDs of Shalom Chaber, of the tribute in memory of Yitzhak Rabin, who was the warrior of peace and someone that Israel perhaps misses today more than ever. And it helped me connect with the Zionism that was and still exists in the hearts of many, in a love for Israel that doesn't see victory as the ultimate goal, but peace. Yes, there won't be ever peace if there's no victory in this war. Yes, we do need to defeat Hamas and to uproot terrorism from the Palestinian territories. But we need to continue dreaming, because this is only Atchalta de Atchalta, the beginnings of the beginnings. And if we don't continue dreaming, then we will never see redemption. For me, yesterday was a strong reminder of the power of dreams in our people. And I want to encourage you to continue dreaming, to continue connecting to Israel through the positive aspects of our belonging and our commitment. Israel is not only a country at war. Israel is a country at war in which soldiers hold chuppot in their army bases, and they whisper the name of their daughters at the baby naming through a cell phone. Israel is a country that has not ceased thriving and living and celebrating even in the midst of these difficult days. Israel is Elisha Rabbi, which, as I mentioned, was marching for the living in Auschwitz. Only a few months after all those who saw his picture as he emerged from captivity said, he looks as if he was in Auschwitz. He gained weight, he's strong, he is proud, and he marched for the living with the flag of Israel in his back. May we be blessed with a time in which we can only connect to Israel through those positive aspects, through those beautiful melodies. May we be blessed with a time in which we can sing again, Shir LaShalom. Wishing everyone a Yom HaAtzmaut Sameach and a Shabbat Shalom.